everybody. Welcome to another episode of Proficient Fans. My name is CB, and with me is...
Clay Haggard.
Clay.
CB.
Good afternoon to you, or
good morning to you, sir.
Morning.
You late night bender slept all morning and think it's the afternoon now?
I tell you what, no. I went to bed at 8:30 last night.
Wow. I went to bed a little after midnight.
Yeah,
No, midnight, excuse me, 1 a.m. because UFC was last night.
I woke up and I go, what the fuck happened?
Yeah.
And apparently I was exhausted.
You know what I did Saturday, and I never do this. I took a little, or no, Friday, sorry, because I worked a half day Friday because I was so far ahead on hours, and I was like, I'm going to take a half day today. I took a little nappy right in the middle of the day. A little 30-minute, 45-minute hitter. And I don't nap. No. One, because of my contacts. So, like, if I take a nap, that shit can, like, dry out. It sucks. But realistically, I just don't nap. It's weird. I feel like it's a waste of a day. Like, I enjoy my time off so much. It's like if I nap, I'm just literally sleeping away time I could be doing something. A hobby or cleaning or getting something done. So I don't nap. I'm not anti-napping. I totally get the importance of a good, solid nap. But I was like, I'm just going to close these eyes and snooze right there in the recliner.
I would like to say that I'm a napper. I could be a napper.
Mm-hmm.
I used to be.
You don't nap either.
I don't have time.
I feel like we're the only people in the world that don't nap.
I would love to, but I just don't have time.
Sure, that's fair.
I just keep it moving. I mean, there are some days that even Taro say, hey, I'm going to go do this. You should probably lay down. I've probably been cranky for like the past 8 weeks or something like that. And
8 weeks? For the last quarter.
You know? And, I mean, there's just been time. But normally, though, when she's telling me that, I'm actually sick. And that's the reason why I had to nap, you know? Back when I was younger, I used to do 20-minute naps, though. Yeah. I was a big fan of the 20-minute.
I used to nap in college quite a bit.
Yeah, I mean,
like during
20 minutes.
Yeah, during the summer, dude, I had a summer job, wake up at like 6 a.m., go work like 5-6 hours, come home. I would nap for like an hour and then kind of have like 2 hours to do whatever. Then I'd go work at Pizza Hut that night.
Oh, right.
And then go work a night shift. And so like I would always get done my first job at like 1, go home, nap. You know, get something done, eat, go back into my... And I did that quite a bit.
I was going to say, I mean, when I was working at the golf course as a young lad, and I was working at the bar at night, I essentially had an hour and a half between the two jobs.
Yeah, yep.
So, and I only lived like 10 minutes away or so. So I'd get home, I'd immediately lay down.
Yeah.
Quick 20-minute nap, and no matter if I actually got to sleep, or if I was just laying.
Resting.
I had the alarm set for 20 minutes, pop up, take a shower, get ready for my next job. So back then I was a big napper, but I mean, as times went on, I look at naps, sleeping in. I don't know what sleeping in is. Mm-hmm. I mean, every one of my days is filled with something. So that's the reason why I treat every day the same. You know what I mean? Like every day I shower and get around just like I was going to work. Yeah. The only thing that's different is the clothes that I put on.
Side note, with golf, you know, you've seen any of these clips of the Waste Management Open right now? Dude, this weekend, that always looks like a blast.
And I think it's even on 10 because of, you know, in the same state, you have the Super Bowl.
Yep.
So.
Yeah. Wow, Arizona's the place to be today.
Right. That's all I thought about all week.
Cow. Yeah, good point. I knew they played the Waste Management Open in Arizona. I guess I'd never even put 1 and 2 together with a Super Bowl there.
Yeah, I'm just like, man.
Extra rowdy.
Yeah.
I just love how rowdy it gets at a golf course. Like, it's the only tournament you get that in.
Oh, what's the... No, there was one... Shit. There's another one that they get all rowdy in.
Not one that I can think of like that, dude. I mean, they cheer and they yell.
I feel like they change horses every year for this one, though.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe.
I
can't think of one, but I very well could be.
What? Wasn't there one in Wisconsin or Minnesota or something like that last year?
Not that I can recall.
Yeah, I'm like stuck on this.
Waste Management Open. I mean, that's the one notorious one.
Yeah, I know. And I was
16th hole. You got those freaking grandstands there.
The tee off when everybody goes crazy. Isn't like it's America versus like Europe and
talking about the Ryder Cup? That's the Ryder Cup.
Is that the one?
That's like every 4 years. 2 years? 3 years? 2 years? 4 years?
Okay.
Doesn't matter.
But that was the one that was like in Wisconsin last year. Because I was like,
see.
shit, that was
I
too
guess
far away.
I was thinking of PGA Tour events.
Yeah, no.
But
I mean,
no,
like,
the Ryder Cup gets a
get
little
rowdy.
rowdy.
Yeah.
A lot of not like the Waste Management Open.
No, but I mean...
I mean, these people, did you see... I think I sent that video where they were all outside at like 4 a.m. waiting to get in. I have a buddy that's actually went. He said he's never experienced anything like the Waste Management Open. Yeah. He's like, dude, it was crazy.
I got a buddy that lives out there.
People literally, they open the gates,
have to visit him.
and once they get onto the course, everyone sprints to the 16th so they can get in those grandstands surrounding the green on that par 3.
Fuck, you gotta
and they
stretch
just
out.
sit there and they just drink all day, watching people hit onto the green on a par 3, and they cheer and yell, and they yell while they're putting.
Yeah.
Like, well, I mean, I do think they're supposed to quiet down, but like Ricky Fowler, he went up to putt one year and he was like, come on.
Yep.
And everyone went crazy. And then he hits it, freaking big dick Rick, knocking down putts, stadium pulse.
Yeah, he's legit.
I love Ricky Fowler.
So this week was
Historic. Historic.
I was so excited because like,
legendary.
Tuesday I got out of work, got home. Spartans started off the night, and then it decided to butt right up against my Los Angeles Lakers game.
Yeah.
And
I know, I was flipping through it in Will's here. He's a Michigan guy. And like he'd go to commercial and I'd flip over and he'd kind of look at me. And I'd be like, it's end of the game, dude. Let me just, time out. All right, back to the Lakers game. Back over to state real quick. Look over at me. I'd be like, there's less time left. It's almost done. Flip back to the Lakers game.
Yeah, I just stayed strong with the Lakers. And that night was, I mean, you knew you were going to see something, especially when LeBron James decides that by half he only needed what? eight points. So that was amazing. For all the news that somehow missed the news, LeBron James is now the all-time scoring leader in the NBA.
Let's go.
I was, for me, I mean, as a fan, as a fan of basketball, I was like, okay, this is really awesome. Like I was like, I get to watch history tonight.
Yeah.
I guess how I settled in. I'm like, I get to watch history. I didn't. Mm-hmm. I was too young to realize when Kareem did that, and the fact that it's happened twice in my lifetime.
Yeah.
On a 4-decade long hold there. And then of course, I thought about you being a super fan.
Yeah.
And I guess and you watched it with another super fan of a particular player. Mm-hmm. How was that watching experience for you guys?
It was incredible. I've never had that experience in sports. You and I have had a conversation of like, who's my favorite athlete, and I feel like I've always been like, well, I feel like it's got to be LeBron. Like I love the Dolphins, like organization, but I haven't had the opportunity or privilege to watch someone come into the organization or the league, I should say, and watch their whole career in front of them. You know what I mean? Like I was a little too young when Brady joined, so I kind of missed the beginning portion of what that legend ended up becoming. And I feel like LeBron is one of the few I could really, which is ironically close to the same time frame, but he was one of the ones I remember where I remember watching him in high school. I remember watching those games on ESPN at St. Vincent St. Mary. I remember him coming into the league. I remember him shitting on the Pistons in the playoffs. I remember like how dominant he was as a young kid. I remember him taking his talents to South Beach and doing the decision. I remember him winning 2 championships with Miami. I recall all of this. And even though I wouldn't have thought ever that it would have happened, I actually got really emotional watching it. I got really tied up into it, and I didn't realize how much it meant to me to see him reach like a pinnacle of the game until I was watching it. And I was like, man, like I've watched this dude for so long, and like he just achieved something that hadn't been achieved for 38 years. 38,388 points. That dude is and counting.
Yeah.
And you have the conversations of who's the GOAT and all this kind of stuff, and I don't want to get into that because as long as I've been a fan, I've always felt the need to defend LeBron, and I feel like I finally reached peace. One, I do think it was realizing, like, my dude's getting older. Like, he's not this 27-year-old workhorse, which he's still a workhorse in all rights, but... And I was like, I'm watching him near the end of his career at this point. We got a handful of years left. And I was just like, you know what? I just am so appreciative to be able to witness what he's done in his career. I don't care what other people think at this point. People are going to have their own opinions. I respect that. It is what it is. And but for what he did, I was just super proud of him.
I know, you're having the conversation when I was setting up today.
Oh, yeah, I was poking the bear for sure.
And, because of the fact that for me, like, I was just like, well, I understand arguments' sakes. You know what I'm saying?
Yep. I mean, that's what we do.
For those Michael Jordan fans, right? Mm-hmm. I saw a graphic today where now we're searching. Like I saw the, number of championships without not at Disney, and I'm like, okay, first off, fuck you.
Yeah.
And I mean, it's not because of LeBron. I was just like, that's my team. You know what I'm saying? And I was just like, you're always going to find a difference between the two players because they're not even close to being the same player.
Correct.
And the conversation and. Our Tony Gonzalez and Travis Kelce conversation.
Yep.
I was just like, this is where I was trying to get to preemptively, but in our conversation about that. But I was like, it's an emotional argument that people are having. That's what I was trying to get to. If you take stats out of the way.
Yeah.
Because you've used stats 80 times before we started recording today.
And, coincidence.
And I was just like, the arguments are coming from an emotional place. It's not a statistic thing. And I mean, yes, you have statistics to base your opinions on and comforts of, hey, this guy, being able to say this guy is the greatest of all time. But I'm just like, as much as LeBron's done, if the question ever comes to me, greatest player of all time, my greatest player of all time is going to be Kobe.
Mm-hmm. Right.
Regardless of the stats and all that stuff. And that's what I was trying to get. Point was, I was just like, the argument can be that. And let that be
I agree.
that.
That's why I said I was poking the bear.
It's
I knew what I was doing. I was triggering you, and I knew what I was doing.
It's kind of, I wrote down I was
I wrote down a poem.
No, I wrote up a small haiku.
I wrote up a memoir for LeBron.
No, there was
my man whipped out the pen and paper. Okay, I like this.
So because with what happened on Tuesday night and LeBron, what he's done, and I'll use the word you used because he used it in an advertisement slogan. I got to witness this kind of basketball. And what I remember when he was in high school, I was working at Foot Locker. I was the assistant manager at Foot Locker, and my boss, me, and another guy there, we were talking about this LeBron James. And the guy that we worked with, he's just like, this guy is going to be the greatest of all time, blah, blah. He's 10 toes deep. This is how he felt. My boss, huge Jordan guy. Nobody's ever going to be greater than Jordan. So they're sitting there going back and forth. And they want me to weigh in. And I go, I haven't seen this guy play a professional game yet. I'm like, he may be the best. I don't know. He has to go against NBA players. Mm-hmm. He needs to get on the court and go against.
It's a very CB answer.
I'm just not going to randomly just jump in on this guy. Preseason, I'm up in Traverse City running my own store, right? And I remember I was so excited. NBA was kicking off, and I was going to get the first preseason. I was going to watch the first preseason game of LeBron, and I wanted to see how he interacted with the NBA. I saw this dude get a steal, drive down the lane. Now, he could have just fucking hammered at home. But no, He turns around and dishes off to Ricky Davis. I go, shit. That next day, I almost wore it today because I was drinking through Ben's this week, and I found old LeBron Cleveland Cavs jersey that I have. And I almost wore it today, but I was like, it's probably going to be cold in this house, so I'm not going to do that.
Put over your hoodie.
So, but I went and bought a LeBron jersey right there because I was like, this guy's he understands what it's going to take. You know what I'm saying? Like, yes, he could have been the young kid that go out there, show bro. He could have done a fucking beautiful dunk. I know it. But he turned around and gave it to the elder statesman of the team.
Yep.
Like, hey, we're here to work together. And it was Ricky Davis, Darius Miles were on that team. I can't remember which one really didn't like him, but they shipped him the fuck out. I think it was Darius Miles. And they shipped him away really quick. And, they rocked with Ricky for a little bit and then, of course, traded him as well. I just realized, I just remember sitting there going, he understands this game.
Yeah.
He's not ever been the guy I rooted for, but I never rooted against him. Mm-hmm. I guess I should say it depends. Like, I wanted Dirk to get a ring. So I did root, and that was also their first time there, and I was like, I didn't like your bold statements of just kind of running this shit.
Yeah.
But I did want Dirk to get a ring, and so I was just, I guess I was rooting against him, but I wasn't like, fuck LeBron, it was always just, he's not my guy.
Yeah.
I get it. And I tell you, as he's gotten older, what's actually made me more of a LeBron guy is, like I've told you before, it's all the extracurricular stuff that he does besides the game of basketball.
Right, yeah.
Now, I looked at also the arguments of why people don't like LeBron James, right? Mm-hmm. 2 minutes left, a minute 57 left in the game. He goes and sits down, and because his foot's hurting, we still almost won.
Yeah,
we probably could have won if he was on the court.
Yeah,
I saw arguments of, Mike wouldn't have done, had that big celebration. He wouldn't have allowed that. To stop the game to appreciate him. And I'm like, first off, we don't know what they would have done.
Correct.
Had he been, but because LeBron didn't set that whole thing up.
Right.
The NBA did.
Right.
So I was just like, I just let that argument go because I was like, that's a dumb argument. It just kind of, that kind of shit bothers me. He didn't dress up last night.
Yeah.
We just made a bunch of trades, which we'll get into momentarily, to put ourselves in a position, because we're 2 games out from being in the playoffs or playing games. So, every game counts, and we did, like I said, we pulled it off last night, but you got to play. Mm-hmm. Like, this is no time to be sitting. Like, congratulations, you did something that nobody else does. If you are truly about this organization, you have to be on the court.
Yeah.
Like, right now is not a time to have load management. Or anything like that. If you don't have anything, if less than a broken fucking fibula, you need to be on the court.
Yeah.
And those are the arguments that I can have, that I can let people get away with on LeBron. When it comes to how good he is, there's nothing that you can say, though.
Yeah, I think just to kind of directly comment on like the injury, because I did see that as well, and I was like, oh damn, like my thought was, I hope that's not serious, which I'm sure it's not. I can say without even feeling bad about it that I do feel like LeBron has a mentality that he needs to stay healthy for him and his career. He has goals and aspirations to play with his sons in the NBA. I don't think in a regular season game, granted it does matter currently, that he would ever put his health on long-term risk to win a regular season game. I think that he is probably more focused on ensuring his long-term health. I truly do. And you said that, like, if you care about this organization, like, you have to be out there.
Well, we're getting ready to come up in the All-Star game where he can take a break.
Correct. And I kind of don't think he does care. I don't think he doesn't. I don't think he really cared about Cleveland. I don't think he really cared about Miami, and I don't think he cares about LA. I think LeBron wants to ensure that LeBron James can continue to play basketball regardless of what organization that's with. And I can say that very confidently because his rest management is on his clock.
Yeah.
He doesn't give a shit if the coach is like, we need you. He's like, yeah, coach, but I don't feel good. I am going to rest.
Yeah.
Like, that's how it is. And I think a lot of people could say that's selfish. He's not a team player. By all means, I'm not going to argue that.
You can't.
I'm not going to, because I truly think that he's on his time. Mm-hmm. However, can I hate an individual? I mean, we talk about all the time about football players and how they need to take care of themselves. Get that bag. If you're not feeling comfortable to go out there, don't go out there. But then it becomes a basketball player, and it's like, no, you got to play hurt.
Well, that goes back to my whole like understanding of why MJ fans feel the way that they do about LeBron, and Kobe fans as well. And
to be fair, I'm gonna be honest with you, 90% of basketball players, not many NBA basketball players, play hurt for the betterment of the organization.
No.
You don't see it often.
But not anymore. But
correct. Like, in today's era of basketball.
Everybody, like, the argument was, like, what I was going to say about the Jordan era argument of players is the fact that you're right, Jordan wouldn't do that. For me, Kobe wouldn't do that.
Yeah, Kobe would never.
These are
Kobe
different
would
games.
never.
You know, AI wouldn't do that. You know what I'm saying? I never want to forget saying AI is when it talks about
toughness.
Hurt.
Yeah, no, 100%.
You know, so I mean, like, I understand those arguments and I'm good with those arguments, but if you don't like LeBron, you got to give me a good reason. Like, I can't understand what the reason is. He seems to be a good human being off the court.
He's a great human being. Sorry, he's a great human being off the court.
Know, maybe we also thought Michael Jordan was too, and then we found out that he was gambling. I don't think gambling and smoking cigars was a big thing.
No. But I mean,
we thought Michael Jordan was good growing up at that era. We thought Michael Jordan was good off the court.
Oh, so to be fair, I didn't really get educated about Mike more so until post career of Mike.
Yeah, because everything came out by then.
That's what I was going to say. So I'm going to step back because I wasn't thriving in the late 90s, early 2000s following Chicago and Michael Jordan. So
I mean, like, you know, like, I remember I was astonished when I found out that he had 6
early
different
90s.
mistresses in 6 different cities. And, you know, like, that threw me for a loop because I didn't think he was that type of guy.
Yeah.
You know, and right now we're just lucky enough to know, and that's the reason why I use the words of he seems to be. You know, and what he does on the court, you know, as consistent as he's been for the past 20... How many years has he been in the league?
22.
22
or 23.
Yeah, years in the league. You can't help but just respect that. I mean, he's average games per season. I think he's at, 4th on that list for yearly averages. I mean... And he's played longer than most of these guys because Kareem went to college, Mike went to college.
I feel like I'm off on that, bro. I feel like it's 18.
How many years has
18? I'm thinking he came in at 20. No, I didn't look. I think he came in 2004.
How many years has LeBron James been in the league?
I should know this. I'm actually embarrassed. I don't off the top of my head.
20 years.
So, okay, 2002. Okay. I said 22, 23. I was like, no, he hasn't been in the league since 2000.
You know, I just think it's crazy to just disregard what he's done. And, you know, I appreciate what he's done for the league, and I want to say thank you for what I've got to see throughout his career.
I just feel bad for the people who, and excuse me, hopefully this was the right cut. We had to knock out some technical stuff, but
we're going to get the hang of this.
What I was going to say was I feel bad for basketball fans who just didn't get to appreciate what LeBron's done over his career. Not saying that you had to be a fan of his. Best example, me. Hate Tom Brady. You know I hate Tom Brady. Never have I ever put a finger down. Never have I ever hated Tom Brady. But I respect the shit out of him. And I appreciate what he did for the game I love watching. And it's unfortunate that there are people out there who dislike LeBron so much they want to discredit what he's accomplished. In its entirety, though. It's not like I don't like LeBron, but man, he's a beast driving the lane. No. I hate LeBron. This is why he sucks. This is why he sucks. This is why he sucks. He's done nothing for this game of basketball. He's overrated. He's incompetent. He's a terrible human. He doesn't deserve to be in the league. And it's like, really? So he's done Nothing to help elevate this game.
I love
at all.
I love
and I just
when I go to the barbershop and
I struggle with that. I struggle with that, dude.
I love it when I'm at the barbershop and they go through this conversation because the fact that I always like to step on who's having the weak, be on the side of whoever's having the weakest argument to help them.
Devil's advocate.
I was just like, I'm like, well,
You're a bear poke. You're a pot stir. You're a pot stir.
And my man Lee looks at me crazy every time, and I'm just like, well, I mean, hey, they weren't arguing very well, and
yeah,
let me help them out.
Yeah.
But
so that's all, man. I just I'm a big advocate for evolving a game.
Yeah, well, I mean, it is what it is. I mean, you just have to look at it. It's not even being an advocate. You just got to come to the realization that the 80s fans didn't like the 90s.
Sure.
90s aren't going to like the, essentially the LeBron era because a lot of people didn't like Kobe. You know what I'm saying? Like, just whoever the best is at that time, people aren't going to like, and that's just what's going to happen.
Mm-hmm. But, like, I look at you and I feel like even though I'm a huge LeBron fan, I'm still looking at these new kids, and I'm so excited to see what the future of the league holds.
I know. You know what I mean?
Like,
for me, that about. However, looking at these guys, none of them come with the. You quickly find out they're not going to be the next one, like what when LeBron came to the league. Like it immediately was he had to produce. Everybody else that you even compare LeBron to didn't have the same expectation coming into the league. Mm-hmm. I mean, Kobe came off the bench. Mm-hmm. Mike, his team was not very good when he got there. Chicago wasn't good. They had to, do a whole different culture change there. So, I mean, where immediately, before LeBron stepped onto the court, he was supposed to be the absolute best big thing. And he was able to live up to it. And I think that's what makes people angry, And I think
that's a great way of looking at it. They're angry because he is what everyone thought he was.
Yeah. So, it's I love the fact that it was he was in a Laker jersey.
Yeah. Sure.
These
Makes
types
one of
of
us.
small things that I look at and I'm like, okay, he's did something great in a Laker jersey. Maybe it's because I want to give him kudos for being a Laker.
Sure.
Like I'm looking for these things because realistically he hasn't done anything besides win, what a lot of people will question. I will never question as a legitimate championship because you always see people say, yeah, but that was the Mickey Mouse championship, And I'm just like, the record books count it. Like, why are we having this discussion?
Once again, if LeBron's not on the team who wins it, any of the other 29 NBA teams, they go, yeah. This is championship.
Miami would have, if Miami would have won,
it would have been a legitimate champ. But it's because LeBron was on the, and I don't care what anyone says. It's because LeBron was on that roster.
Fair.
And to be honest, was everyone not playing under the exact same circumstance?
Yeah.
That's where I'm kind of like everyone played under the same circumstance. We don't need to get into that though.
No, right. Now, it was also an exciting week because we got some trades. Probably one of the...
It was busy.
Most star-studded, electric trade deadlines. And I'm going to only talk about 3 different ones that really,
the big superstars.
That really, I was like, wow.
Yeah.
The first was, of course, I'm going to stay with my Los Angeles Lakers. We did trade Russell Westbrook to the Utah Jazz to acquire point guard. Welcome back home, D'Angelo Russell.
I know.
From the Timberwolves. Nice little 3-way trade. I was at first very upset because we traded away another draft pick.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, dude, we're just getting rid of everything. Now, we did follow that up with, let's see, your Lakers. We also got Malik Beasley and Jared Vanderbilt, from the Jazz. And the Jazz also received, they received the Lakers 2027 first-round pick. Lakers traded Thomas Bryant away to the Denver Nuggets for Devin Reed and 3 second-round picks. And I was like, okay.
Right.
Not overly upset anymore. No, when I was talking to somebody this week about, those second round picks, they're like, second round? I'm like, how many first rounders really make a difference in the NBA? Mm-hmm. There's a lot of second rounders that end up, you can build a team around. We just want to always just, splash of all-star. And, well, splash of all-star might not get us the championship we need. We need role players in a bad way. Mm-hmm. And by the time that we're ready to, we're also one of the biggest banks in the game. So maybe we do spend money on a all-star and bring them in. I mean, shit, that's what we did for Shaq. So very happy. I was happy with the trades that they got accomplished. I hated seeing Russ leave. I hear that they're going to buy out his contract and he can go anywhere he wants. Yeah. I hated the fact that it didn't work out for him with us.
Yeah,
because
I know.
I've always been such a Russ fan, and I was just like, I love seeing him in purple and gold. Mm-hmm. And I hate the fact that somebody that I have loved watching his entire career, it didn't work out for him. And a lot has to do with who we were talking about at the top of the pod here, LeBron, because when he's the center nucleus of everything, it all has to work.
I think Russ has to be that nucleus for what team he plays for.
Well, he was...
And that's kind of a compliment.
Yeah.
Like, I don't feel like Russ is a role player. Russ does Russ, and he needs role players around him, and AD and LeBron don't fit that script at all. As much, don't get me wrong, doesn't mean we weren't excited when he went there. Doesn't mean I wasn't like, they can be monsters. But watching it they just never really,
they've been meshed.
They never got that cohesion together as a unit. So I do want what's best for Russ, because I am a huge Russ fan. Yep. Like, he's probably top favorite players for me in the NBA still. And so I do hope wherever he goes, he gets the ball out. Yeah.
And then them Nets imploded. Mm-hmm. Just said, fuck it, we're done here. Mm-hmm. They sent Kyrie to the Dallas Mavericks. Mm-hmm. And Kyrie's been balling over there for the past 2 games.
Yep.
I thought, I did have one person say that they thought that was dumb of the Mavericks to get him. And I'm like, well, first off, it's not. Because you have undoubtedly one of the greatest ball handlers to ever play this game.
Yeah.
Leading point. And can take over a game by leading point.
Yep.
That's going to do nothing but free up Luka.
Excuse me.
I was just like, and your goal is to win championships, and whether Luka still gets double teamed, but somebody tries to go one-on-one with Kyrie, you still win.
Yep. Kyrie's got a ring. He's been there. He knows what it takes.
So, I'm happy, that is going to happen for Luka down there.
Yep.
Put him in a really good contention for a championship, because we saw what he could do just by himself.
Yep.
And now with a little help, this is going to be nice. And then the Brooklyn Nets decided, you know what, KD? You're gone too.
Yeah. Well, KD requested a trade when Kyrie was like, I'm out.
Kyrie sat there and said, go back to Kyrie real quick. He goes, I am not re-signing. Mm-hmm. At the end of this year.
Yeah, we talked about that last week, I believe.
And and he
was ready. He was ready to sit.
Yeah,
he was ready to sit.
So it was, and then, so KD gets traded to the Phoenix Suns.
KD specifically said, "I want to be traded to the Suns," because KD needs a third super team to be successful.
I just think he doesn't want to work hard for the championships.
I'm not going to argue with that. I just somewhat, once again, LeBron fandom, but he was one of the ones who vocalized and bitched when he went to Miami. He did, dude. I remember he was one of the players I was like, oh, you're going to go to a super team, man. That's a bunch of BS, earn it, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, since all KD has done is go to super teams.
Yeah.
Golden State. Then Brooklyn. Now he's going to the Phoenix Suns. He keeps going to teams, and it's not they're building super teams. Brooklyn. Brooklyn was kind of built. Yeah. But he went to Golden State an already dominant organization and joined their success. And now he's going to Phoenix, where they already have a great team with success, who he's joining. So I can't hate the fact that my man wants rings. I get it. That's the epitome of every NBA player, except Jordan. All Jordan wanted was records. I'm just being salty. I know he wanted rings. That's
he cared more about the rings than records.
I know. That's why I left for baseball. And that's all KD wants. And I agree with you that I don't think he wants to work for him.
I mean,
I think he would rather just be like, why not go to a team that's already good?
And he can still stunt on how good he is. I mean, just because.
And that's the thing, is he's so good.
Yeah.
I still think right now KD could go somewhere and on his own take a team to a playoff final. Mm-hmm. I really think he's that talented.
He's getting a little long in the tooth.
I mean, so is LeBron.
Yeah.
Averaging 30-some points a game. So all I'm saying is I think because of what KD's done, because of his skill talent, because of everyone wanting to say KD's the best player in the NBA, back it up.
Yeah.
And I still think he's got some in the tank. I think if he wants to go out there and average 38 points a game, I think he can do it. He's KD. You don't just easily stop that.
Kevin Durant. You know who the fuck I am.
Yeah.
That's me. I love that. I love that interview.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. Like, he's just like.
So I guess that's kind of why I'm like, wow, dude, like, you got everything you need.
Yeah. Kevin Durant, I mean, he's just one of those guys I don't give overly too much thought to.
Sure.
You know, I don't have a stand. Like, I mean, collect rings. Try to collect rings. That's the whole goal. Yeah. And no matter where you go, you're going to collect a bag because you've laid the groundwork already to how great you are.
Yeah.
And I don't, even though I think he's a little old and since he's injury prone, that's a little bit more of the reason why I would push away from he could go out and do it, because I feel like he's just always injured.
Yeah, I'm not saying it'd be easy.
But I thought that when Brooklyn got that super team together, I thought that was a mistake anyways, because they were just in the playoffs without the super team. Mm-hmm. You know, and then you got
worse since they got KD and Kyrie.
You got rid of everybody. And
then they
James
went and
Harden.
got Ben Simmons.
James Harden before Ben Simmons.
Yep.
But the reason why James Harden went out there, he goes, it's dysfunctional over there. Mm-hmm. And then they imploded this, and he goes, I'm glad to see that everybody is realizing that now. You know, because like he's just like, I mean, I remember when he was asking to leave, and everybody wanted to shit on James Harden for being difficult, and he's just like, no, this isn't how it's supposed to be.
Yeah, and
that's the reason why we should sometimes give a little grace to these guys when they're making decisions, not thinking that they're just troublemakers. You know, they're professionals, and if they've had any success, and then they go to a different team, and now you see things that aren't being ran right the way a successful team needs to be ran.
Yeah.
You know, he's not being a troublemaker. He's being somebody that's just like, this isn't good.
Yeah.
And that you're going to do more, and somebody of his magnitude.
He's in Philly, right? Harden?
Yeah. He's there with Embiid.
Yep. That was in...
they will know
Ben Simmons
what's a professional atmosphere to be in and what's not. Mm-hmm. Now, if you have a problem with the way how he plays basketball, that's one thing. But that's what your problem is. It's not about him being a troublemaker, because he's not a troublemaker. He's just like, no, this isn't it. So,
yep.
Was there any other? I mean, there was a few other trades that happened, but those were the big ones.
Those were the real big ones.
So. Well, I tell you what, let's take a break real quick and come back and let's delve in some Super Bowl. The reason why we're here today.
The Kelce Bowl.
Yeah, I'm excited. All right, so the Super Bowl is upon us, my friend.
Did you know we had football today?
Oh, do I? It's like a bittersweet.
A lot of basketball conversation.
Yeah. It's a bittersweet day for me. Because, A, I got football. I got the greatest football game of all. You know, the culmination of 17 plus preseason, weeks. And so I'm really excited for today, but it's also sad. Because after today, I have no more NFL games to look forward to until fall. And that's what kind of sucks. Now I'm just like, okay, trying to hype myself up for XFL.
Roughnecks!
Nah, man, DC Defenders.
Houston Roughnecks.
Shields up!
You just make your own slogan for...
No, man, that's
is
the
that?
thing.
Is that?
Yes! Right. Come on, man, I'm about this life.
I don't follow your Defenders. Ain't defending much in DC lately.
Yeah. If you got
All right,
a balloon, you want to send it our way.
Moving on.
I did see a meme where it was what China's going to see next week, and it was the Budweiser blimp going over the top. I was like, this is goofy. So, no, we got Super Bowl, Kelce Bowl, the Brother Bowl. It's pretty awesome.
It's going to be a good game.
I decided to go. I don't own any Philadelphia Eagles stuff.
Good. You shouldn't. Your wife can. You shouldn't.
Yeah, all right. And so what I did was I threw on my Kobe hoodie here to show the best product that they've ever came out of Philly. And that's how I'm showing solidarity today.
That's fair.
I do have my Lions t-shirt on underneath. So
I let my Dolphins shine true for YouTube to see.
And I this week I sat there, and when the kids were little, Tara had bought them one of those bought C, the sweatpants, little Philadelphia Eagles jersey.
Oh yeah, you told me
with
this
a
little
helmet.
Philly Eagles uniform.
Yeah, and it came with a helmet. Well, I knew that helmet was up in Channing's closet, so I went upstairs, grabbed that helmet, put it on the TV stand down in the living room. I call it the TV stand, even though the TV doesn't sit on it because we have ours on the wall. And I was just like, just get you hype all week, you know. Just realize that you're going to the Super Bowl. So she had the helmet out, and then today, since she did put it on the dining room table to have around snacks, so she can always so we graze.
It's a big deal, dude.
Yeah, she's hyped. She actually took tomorrow off from work.
I would do the same. I'd take the whole week, celebration week.
And so she's excited. I'm excited for her, and I have Philly going. I actually have Philly winning, regardless of the fact that my wife's team. Now, if it would never be the Lions, but I mean, not against them in the Super Bowl. You know what I'm saying? So I'm definitely giving her this, and I even. Earlier this year, I go, man, I'm like, your Eagles keep on playing like this. You're getting ready to get yourself another Super Bowl sweatshirt because she has 5 years ago Super Bowl sweatshirt that she got, and of course she'll get another one because I'm just like, well, if you win a Super Bowl, you deserve a fucking the official one that those guys are wearing.
Oh yeah, I'm gonna be the nerd who as soon as the Sports Illustrated comes up and your team just won the Super Bowl. I'm like, I know, I'm ordering.
Yeah, right. Yeah,
I know.
That's what I did 5 years ago for, and of course it'll happen again. And I'm jealous because since we've been together, her team has been to the Super Bowl 3 times, and mine has made the playoffs once.
Yep.
And that hurts. Mm-hmm. She's gotten 3 Super Bowls, and I've gotten none.
You got 1 playoff.
They made multiple playoffs throughout our togetherness.
Yeah.
And it's just, congratulations.
Salty as all get out.
Go, Jalen.
Yeah, I'm going Chiefs. I would like to see the Chiefs win. I've kind of already said it. Big Andy Reid fan. I absolutely love Patrick Mahomes, dude. I think that dude is just a menace. He's so freaking good at what he does. I do think on paper, Eagles got a squad, dude. I still think the Chiefs got their work cut out for them. I haven't looked at the bet lines, but I'm sure Eagles are probably slightly favored. If I had to take a guess, but yeah, it's going to be a really, really good game.
Are you thinking high scoring or low scoring?
Shit, dude, I don't know. I feel like, see, they both have pretty good defenses. I mean, the Eagles got a better defense than the Chiefs. And I think that the young Chiefs secondary could struggle trying to keep up with A.J. Brown, Devontae Smith, Dallas Goedert. I mean...
Well, aren't they a little banged up on that defensive side for the Chiefs as well? Don't they have, like, replacement DBs back there or some shit?
I think so. I think that's kind of where some of that youth comes from. Mm-hmm. But, I mean, we'll have to see how it goes, man. I think it's going to be a really good game. High scoring, low scoring, I honestly couldn't tell you. Both of them have phenomenal defensive lines, so it's almost like you want to just assume there's going to be constant pressure on these guys. That I would assume that it's not going to be like a shootout. I would have a hard time thinking that these offenses just dominate the defenses.
That's what I'm trying to figure out.
I don't see that.
I think that offensively, if it definitely becomes that, I think that the Eagles stand a better chance of winning a shootout than what the Chiefs do.
I would agree.
Just far more weapons that you can hit from everywhere else. I'm not trying to discredit Juju but essentially it's just Travis Kelce. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's your big fucking weapon.
Yep.
Where the Eagles have AJ, Devontae.
Eagles are healthier on the offensive side of the ball right now. Because I don't even know. I think Clyde Edwards-Helaire is back. I think. I can't even remember.
I couldn't even tell you, but I would imagine that he's going to be back for this game.
Yeah. Because I know the Chiefs were missing 3 starting weapons in the AFC Championship game. That's
still pulled it off.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So, like.
Against who'd they play?
Bengals.
Oh, yeah, the Bengals. So, yeah, I don't know. I don't know. I think it'll be a pretty decently high-scoring game. I think that, unfortunately, as great as the defensive sides of the football are, I think that these offenses are that good enough to continue to see the end zone regardless of how good that defense is. If you look at the Eagles, who went up against the best defense in the league, and they still put up there was a ton of points on that game, if I remember correctly, against the Niners. So it was like, okay, if they can do that against the number one defense, whatever the Chiefs have, and I think that Pat Mahomes can definitely will his team to a lot of points as well. So it's gonna be a fun game. I think that I got my squares already placed.
Same.
Later on this afternoon, I will put in my bets. I don't know what I'm going to do.
I haven't done my bets either. I'm going to do it leading up during all the pregame stuff. And
I just want to be a little careful because last time, not last time, but I remember the first year that we could gamble on our mobile devices here in the state of Michigan. I barely got my bets in before kickoff because it wouldn't let me log in because it was just flooded. And so last year I remember I'm like, fuck that. Woke up Sunday morning.
That's a good point. Maybe I will do them a little earlier.
Yeah, I just want to make sure that I get them in prior to. So, what do you got? I mean, what kind of conversation have you heard about this week that's really drawing your attention?
I feel like I can't think of anything in particular. I mean, it is pretty cool that we got 2 starting black quarterbacks going into the Super Bowl. I do think that's a really awesome, like, just little mini headline to pay homage to. And I mean, both of them are talented as all get out. I do know that both are kind of nursing some injuries. I mean, Hurts missed week 16, 17 with that non-throwing shoulder injury. Yeah. Mahomes is obviously still battling through a high ankle sprain. Obviously, I think Hurts is probably fine from his injury. But technically, dude, we don't know how Mahomes' ankle is doing. I think over 2 weeks, having an NFL paying unlimited dollars and putting unlimited resources into rehabbing that thing, I got a feeling Mahomes is going to come into this game feeling pretty damn tip-top, if you ask me.
What was that, cortisone?
Yeah, right. And, I think that you got a couple things to look at, dude. I mean, Kansas City comes into the Super Bowl. They've been there. They know exactly what this pressure feels like. I don't think they're going to feel any type of, what's the word I'm looking for here?
Anxiousness.
I was thinking adversity. I don't think they're really fighting any adversity. Maybe through some injuries.
Well, I think
but like, dude, they've been here. I think they know what to expect, and I don't think the Kansas City Chiefs are nervous. Maybe some of obviously the guys who, haven't been to a Super Bowl yet, like Juju, for example, maybe actually, no, he wasn't on the team back when Ben and AB went and all that. So like some of those guys may have some nerves, but like, dude, I guarantee Mahomes is cooler than a cucumber. Andy Reid, been there, done that. Helped fucking Philly win a Super Bowl.
Yeah.
I mean, like, so I think he's perfectly fine. And, when it comes to the coaching, Nick Sirianni, first of all, I think, did he win Coach of the Year? Or no, Dable won Coach of the Year. Oh, yeah, we should have went over all those awards.
Oh, yeah, we still have that.
Yeah, and so, I think the Chiefs are going to be very well prepared. But I don't think that discredits the Eagles coming into this game either.
I think that I love the fact that Jason Kelce has made a name for himself outside of football, right? Because the more you look at who he is and the fact that he was on that offensive line when they won their last Super Bowl, I think he's able to help keep everybody grounded as well. Because although the captain of the offense is the quarterback, the true captain of that offense is the center.
Yeah.
And if your center is like, we have this, my offensive line will be dialed in, and they have confidence in that. And I feel like when I sit there and see him out, during this whole week of press and the confidence that he has led with, I mean, how often do you really see a lineman being the face of an organization?
Yeah.
And the fact that he's able to been out there and just have that, hey, we're good, and go forward. I think that he's able to help bring it in 100%. For the younger guys like Jalen and Devontae. 100%. And that's what's I think really cool. And I love linemen. I think they're awesome, man. Like, who else gets in a car accident every fucking play?
Yeah.
Yep. I mean, just
the Phillies' ability to run the ball, and I'm rooting for Chiefs. But every time I think of scheme, personnel, I'm like, fuck, Eagles can win that one for me.
Yeah.
Eagles check that box, because I'm thinking about the run game. The Eagles' run game this postseason has been second to none. Dude, they're running the ball so well, and their offensive linemen are getting to the next level so well. Like, if Philly gets the ball, like if they're running the ball efficiently in this game, I don't think that Kansas City's defense is going to be able to combat a strong, hard-nosed running offense, and protect the ball in the air when Devontae Smith and A.J. Brown go fucking flying past you. So, it's by all means, like, money on it, have to pick one. I do think the Eagles probably out-edge the Kansas City Chiefs. I'm just hoping for the Chiefs.
That's fair.
Yeah. I mean, like, I do. The Eagles are good. Other than having a weaker schedule, which if you were to go back and actually look at the Eagles week to week, dude, they played the AFC South. A terrible division this year. Their best team was the Jacksonville Jaguars that went to the playoffs. So that helps.
Yeah.
And then they played the NFC North. Sorry, with all due respect, really wasn't that competitive in the North either. Your Lions came out in the second half.
Yep.
Which I think you played Eagles early, correct?
We played them the first game of the year.
Correct. So you played them before you guys got real hot.
Yeah.
And then they also played Minnesota, but when did they play Minnesota? They played Minnesota primetime football when the Vikings played their all-time worst.
Yeah.
So, like, if you actually go back and look, I'm not saying the Eagles had a cakewalk, but if you actually go look at their schedule, you'll kind of be like, oh, wow, okay.
No, they definitely had an easy schedule.
And go look at the quarterbacks they played against and what points of the season they played them in.
Yeah.
So, once again, not trying to discredit the Eagles. You still don't get to the Super Bowl on accident. However, I do think that if you got to pick and choose your schedule, I think it's easy to say, wow, that's a way easier schedule than that one.
Well, I mean, but look at their division. I mean, like, they had four teams in there that
but
was
what I'm saying is
tough
what helps all your games outside of the division.
Oh, yeah.
You know what
I'm with you.
So that's all. And I don't think that means that they haven't been tested, because one thing that the Eagles have done is they're not barely winning these games.
Right.
They're handling business. So that's why I say I'm not trying to discredit them, but I am curious, how many games have the Eagles been into and it was like, your back's against the wall.
Yeah.
You need to step up and do something huge to elevate your team to get over that hump. And I don't feel as if they have faced as much adversity this year, but sometimes that's a good thing. Sometimes ignorance is bliss.
I was going to say, sometimes facing adversity, by the time it counts, you're exhausted.
Yep. And who's to say it's good at all, dude? They go in there with this much confidence. Let's say they do destroy the Chiefs. Fuck adversity if you're just going to beat everyone's ass.
That's what I'm thinking. I'm just like, man, thinking about like emotionally, physically, you know, how that can just put a drain on you, and then you have the excitement of the Super Bowl coming up, and then it's time to go, but you're exhausted.
Yep. Hey, just things to look at.
Yeah, so
and we know that the Chiefs have had their backs against the wall this season quite a few times, actually, and Patrick Mahomes does Patrick Mahomes things.
Yes. So I wish I didn't like the Chiefs. I love the Chiefs. I think they're great. You know, I'm a fan of Patrick Mahomes. I'm a big fan of Travis Kelce. You know, Andy Reid, just seeing what he's done his entire life, you know, has been amazing. And looking at think about like what he's just done. I mean, like Green Bay, Philly, you know, now the Kansas City Chiefs. You know, it's
Andy Reid's a good Hall of Fame. Without a doubt.
Yeah, you can't think about
second most playoff victories ever in NFL history for a head coach. Like,
and he's somebody that doesn't get the conversation that he deserves unless it's this week.
And he loves cheeseburgers. He's relatable.
Yeah.
Like, he's relatable. So yeah, but you know what? Regardless of who wins, man,
we're gonna have a great game and I'm gonna have some fun.
Super Bowl.
So
agreed.
TV timeout, and we'll come back. We're going to discuss some awards that got
perfect
given out this week.
Oh yeah, I've never seen you more excited to fucking jump into a segment. I make one Lions comment. He said, "Hold, please, record." Before we get into those,
we got some awards that happened this week.
Yeah, the one thing that I do want, and I'm not going to go over all the silly ones, you know, but I do want to start with the Pro Football Hall of Fame class 2023. And I want to start it off with my Miami Dolphin, Zach Thomas, finally getting into the Hall of Fame. Thank you. Well deserving. You look at his numbers, dude. Statistically, he is just as good, if not a fraction better than Brian Urlacher. And it's not even like
I've asked you numerous times why he's not in.
Yeah, my dad has been furious over the past couple years.
I bring up Zach Thomas whenever we talk about.
He's a dog.
You know, historically, like you've had great players and haven't been able to do anything. That's not a shot. It's but I always use him because he was one of those guys.
Zach Thomas, dog. But I also want to make sure we mention the other Hall of Fame class 2023 members: Rondé Barber, Darrelle Revis, Joe Thomas, DeMarcus Ware, Dan Coryell, he was a coach and contributor, Chuck Howley, this says senior, not sure about that, but Joe Klecko, senior, and Ken Riley, senior. I think senior means they were out of their certain voting areas, but they brought them into the Hall of Fame anyway. I think that's what senior means.
Okay, I was thinking it was just their name, but okay.
No, like senior in parentheses.
Oh, okay, I see.
Yeah, sorry.
I didn't know there was parentheses.
So like Don Coryell, coach contributor in parentheses, then it's like Chuck Howley, senior in parentheses.
Right on.
But if I'm not mistaken, these also might have been players who had passed, because when I watched the inductions, they called their children to let them know that their parent had made the Hall of Fame. So it could have been the late Chuck Howley. But regardless of the fact, congratulations to all those guys. I mean, a lot of these names, dude, I remember through just my years of watching football. Rondé Barber, Darrelle Revis, Joe Thomas, Zach Thomas, DeMarcus Ware. I mean,
those are all players within recent history, I feel.
Yeah.
And they all got in really.
Yep.
I'm happy with those guys. I like that class.
So then if we get into the we're going to jump right into like the APs. So right out the gate, actually, AP Defensive Rookie of the Year, Sauce Gardner, New York Jets cornerback. CB, do you feel that Aiden Hutchinson got snubbed?
I do, and I like mostly because of the fact that statistically,
Not emotionally, right? You're not being emotional?
This is not an emotional
all right.
one.
Just making sure.
This is a statistic conversation.
Okay.
He had 10 sacks, 11 sacks, 3 picks, 17 pressures. I mean, like, he was up there. And I understand what Sauce's position is, but I just felt like he contributed more to the outcome of a game than what Sauce did.
Okay.
So that's the reason why I say that, yes, I feel that emotionally that he was gypped.
Okay.
So
yeah, no, I mean, that's super fair. I was just curious. I of course did just tell you before, we started recording that I do feel as if Sauce should have been Defensive Rookie of the Year. And once again, you obviously know I have no ill will towards the Lions.
Right.
And I've been talking up Hutch all season.
I mean, I was talking him up when he was on that other team.
Yeah. Yeah, good call. And but I don't know if you remember, and I'm very confident I have this on recording. I said Sauce Gardner was going to be one of the best defensive rookies coming into this NFL season. I was high on him, and I personally think that playing the cornerback, which you kind of said, the cornerback is the hardest position in football. In football, especially the NFL, because you are essentially completely reacting to the man across from you who already is running a predetermined route. And it blows my mind that these guys can keep up to speed, not knowing what the next move is. Like, to me, that is the epitome of athleticism. It's crazy to think that. Now, once again, I also play the Jets twice a year. I saw what he did, including when he played. Technically never played against Tua. He played against Skylar Thompson twice. Right. But I think Sauce is just such a shutdown corner. He's already considered one of the better corners in the NFL. However, I also would put Hutch up there with one of the more dominant pass rushers in the league. I think it was hard fought. I don't know what the voting was, but I'm hoping that it was really damn close to at least give Hutch his due diligence and recognition.
Hutch technically got more first place votes than Sauce, but Sauce got more all around votes.
No, you're thinking of Kenneth Walker.
That's what it was.
Kenneth Walker got more first place. Kenneth Walker had the most first place votes of rookies, but that's all around because Kenneth Walker's an offensive player. But I know what you were thinking.
Yeah, I got them mixed up.
But I know what you were. But nonetheless, I still think Hutch. It was probably Sauce and Hutch.
Yeah.
It was those two.
And I only because
go ahead.
I was gonna say I only feel like he was gypped because I was like, how does he not win when he wins all defensive rookie of the year conversation all around? So our offensive rookie all around. He wasn't just defensive rookie. He was rookie of the year.
He was rookie of the year.
Yeah.
I mean,
was he not?
They don't do that for rookies. It's just offense and defense.
Hutch won something, damn it.
I mean, he won the Pepsi.
Oh, that's what it was.
So if you want me to go through all of the other...
Oh, go ahead. I'm not.
You want me to go through the other ones that don't matter? Like the Angry Run of the Year award, too?
No.
You want me to go through the NFL Fan of the Year?
That was.
I didn't know if we're talking about awards that don't matter. Did you want to go through the Pepsi defensive?
I moved on.
Oh, okay, sorry.
I'm just making sure you.
I don't see any Dolphins on here, CB, so I'm just salty too.
So yeah, no, I'm upset. Even more so now.
We care, damn it.
But yeah, no, I don't care. I
don't care. I don't care.
He was robbed.
So,
but I don't want to talk shit about Sauce because we're gonna get him in 3 years.
Oh shit! You don't take him from the East. I'm cool with that. Actually, you can have him in 3 years. AP Offensive Rookie of the Year, Garrett Wilson, New York Jets wide receiver.
Bullshit.
Two Jets though. I just realized that offense and defense. This is why I go back to why I don't like Elijah Moore and his attitude when another rookie came in a year after him and won Offensive Rookie of the Year. With 3 quarterbacks, mind you.
Yeah. I mean,
You could also make the argument that Elijah Moore had more of Zach Wilson, hence why he had worse stats, though. That would be fair, because Zach Wilson is straight butt cheeks.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, Garrett Wilson was a dog. Now, I think there were other rookies. I think Chris Olave could have won that. I definitely think Kenneth Walker could have won that.
He missed, 3-4 games?
And still was one of the most dominant offensive rookies.
And, I mean, he came in dominating.
Yeah.
Like, it was...
So, in my opinion, you're upset Hutch got snubbed from defense. I think many players got snubbed from the offensive rookie.
I think that I'm just not happy with either one because...
Yeah. Because they're both Jets and Jets suck.
Because one was a Lion, one was a Spartan.
Yeah.
And
double burn.
Like it just really sucks.
Yeah.
Because these are guys that I actively root for to be good.
Yep.
Except for I did want K9 to do terrible against the Rams that game. And so, but yeah.
AP Defensive Player of the Year, Nick Bosa, San Francisco 49ers defensive end.
Hard to argue.
Dude was a monster.
So
Them Bosa brothers, dude, they're just next level athletes. AP Offensive Player of the Year, Justin Jefferson, Minnesota Vikings wide receiver. Dude's a dog.
There's no doubt about it.
He's so possibly because of Michigan State Spartans throwing in the football. Go green.
Go white.
I don't know. Statistically speaking.
He dominated.
Very deserving, though. Justin Jefferson's good as shit.
Yeah, he is.
AP Comeback Player of the Year, Geno Smith, Seattle Seahawks quarterback.
That's unarguable.
Dude.
Unarguable.
I'm pretty sure I said that the Seahawks are going to be fucking awesome this year. I don't think I once ever said they're going to be terrible. That's a complete lie. I said the Seahawks are going to be absolute garbage.
I think I threw them a little bit more bail.
No. I said they're going to be one of the worst teams in the NFL.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then they made the playoffs. Cool. I couldn't have been more wrong. It's because Kenneth Walker. I should have given him more love.
Yeah.
I should have known. But yeah, Geno Smith played like an absolute dog. AP Coach of the Year, Brian Dable, New York Giants. Not mad.
Understood.
He took that shitty-ass team, dude, and they almost won their division. Well, excuse me. They didn't almost win their division. They were competitive in their division, which was a freaking ridiculously competitive division.
I mean,
worst to first.
At one point, they're all four of those
They
teams
were terrible. They were all under 500. Like, this was like 2 years ago type shit.
Yeah.
And now you got one of them in the Super Bowl and three of them making the playoffs. That's wild.
At one point, all four of them were in the playoffs.
Wild. Very deserving. Boy, Dolphins are in the running for Brian Dable. I'm happy with Mike McDaniel. And then you have the AP Most Valuable Player, MVP, Patrick Mahomes, Kansas City Chiefs quarterback. Dude, don't miss.
I was like, when I saw that get announced, I'm like, all right, how can I argue this? And I sat and I looked and I thought, and I was like, there's nothing to argue.
He lost Tyreek Hill. Yes, he has Travis Kelce. Let's not hate on that. He lost his, in my opinion,
playmaker?
tie number one for best offensive player on that team.
Yeah.
Because I can't discredit Kelce.
No, but you
lose
lost his
Tyreek Hill,
playmaker.
dude.
You know what I mean? Like,
and then he still goes out there with Juju, McCole Hardman.
Vasquez?
Valdez, yep. Marquez Valdez-Scantling.
Scantling, there we go.
Yep. And just goes out there and, dude, lights it up. They have other guys, too. I don't think we need to name them all. But, I'm telling you, bro, what Patrick Mahomes is doing is incredible. If he goes out there and beats the Eagles tonight and wins that Super Bowl with this roster, and this roster isn't terrible, mind you.
It's hard not to respect somebody that has. I brought up the question after the first Super Bowl to you. Do you think maybe he was a flash in the pan? And you said no. And I was like, well, I can't wait. I know I was like, I don't know. I was like, I don't have an opinion. I was like, but I can't wait to find out. And I've been really impressed since that first Super Bowl from, and enjoying watching what he's done.
The only one who's beaten him in the Super Bowl is the GOAT.
Yeah.
Only Super Bowl he's lost.
Yeah. I mean,
I'd rather lose a Super Bowl to Tom Brady than say I lost a Super Bowl to Eli Manning.
You know what's crazy? Because we kind of started this conversation about a GOAT or this podcast about GOAT conversation and about ready to end it on a GOAT conversation.
Yeah,
is with Tom Brady, there is no argument from anybody.
Nope.
But in the NBA world, there is an argument. In baseball, there will be an argument. Mm-hmm. But that, I mean, and in golf, there's an argument.
Nope. Not in hockey, though. Wayne Gretzky. Pretty good. Pretty good guy.
Yeah. So
different rules, though.
Two athletes, I guess, that are just solidified. There is no argument. Wayne Gretzky, I'll give you.
Yeah, dude. I mean, his records are.
I mean, some people may say Gordie Howe, but I'm just a guy.
Go Red Wings. But I mean, dude.
But I mean, I
his
understand.
nickname is the Great.
I know. I understand.
Yeah, I know
understand.
you do.
So, but I mean, like, you know, in recent times, I mean, because nobody really talks about hockey. I mean, on regular conversation. I'm sorry, that wasn't
Hear that, Canada?
So, I want no beef. But yeah, no, I just think it's crazy that he's just indubitably the greatest football, quarterback of all time.
He's my GOAT.
I
hate to say it.
He has to be. All right. Pat may be able, he's young
Patrick.
enough.
Remember what his mother said?
Yeah.
It's Patrick.
Not my
Whoa. Mama. Don't disrespect the mamas.
Man, you know what I said about your mama? You used to call her lockjaw.
That's how we got to end.
Shout out Bernie Mac. That was a Bernie Mac joke. I got nothing else, man.
I'm good.
All right. Thank you. Episode 227.
Nice.
Look at us knowing the
I knew. What are you good for you? I mean, good for you.
I know, right?
It's a good guess.
Was it good? Was it right?
It was right.
That's what's up. Next time we speak to you, we'll have a Super Bowl champion. I can't wait to kind of, go over the game, what we saw, what we didn't like. It annoys me when people talk about, I can't wait to see the Super Bowl commercials. Yep.
I'm pretty excited to see him too. Got some. We get the Flash trailer.
Yes.
Yep, we're gonna get. I think I could be wrong on this. I think there's another Quantum Mania trailer that they're gonna drop for the Super Bowl.
Really?
It's gonna be another dope.
But
hey,
that's,
Riri for halftime.
That's
come on now.
But what I feel like when you're stacking the importance of.
Oh no! I'm there to watch the game.
Yes, and that's what I'm getting.
But I'm an entertainment guy too, so
I'm all about.
I don't care about the stupid shit like another Doritos commercial.
Yeah.
Just give me the Flash trailer.
Yeah,
that's what I care about.
Like, I need the blockbuster shit to come through. Not if Budweiser made me cry this week or this year. So, anyways, they always got some sappy ones.
They do.
So we're out. Peace.
Take care.